You know, when we think of smart cities, we usually picture these incredibly complex machines. But what if that's, well, the wrong way to look at it? Today, we're going to explore a totally different idea. What happens when you connect thousands of technologies and services to create a city that acts less like a machine and more like a living, breathing thing? Steve Jobs said this about life, right? But it perfectly sums up the massive challenge of building a smart city. I mean, think about it. You've got thousands of individual dots, traffic sensors, energy grids, public services, you name it. The real magic and the trick for city planners is trusting that all these separate dots can somehow connect to form one single intelligent system. So that's really the big question we're tackling today. What does it actually look like when a city's infrastructure, all its data and its services are totally integrated, all talking to each other and responding in real time? Well, it starts to look a lot like biology. And this is the core analogy for our whole discussion. A smart city isn't just a pile of cool gadgets. No, it's an integrated system where all that technology forms the city's anatomy, creating a responsive, urban organism. Okay, so to really get our heads around this, we're going to break it down piece by piece. Let's look at the direct parallels between our own bodies and the systems that make a smart city, well, tick. First up, the nervous system. In our bodies, right, our nerves are constantly sending signals back and forth to the brain. In a smart city, the Internet of Things, that huge network of sensors and devices, that's the city's nervous system. They're out there 24/7, gathering data on everything from traffic flow to air quality and sending all that info to a central hub. And that central hub? Well, that's the city's brain. Just like our brain processes information so we can make decisions, smart city management platforms use AI to analyze all that incoming data and coordinate what happens next. So, say a traffic accident happens. The city's brain can automatically reroute traffic around it and dispatch emergency services, all in an instant. Now, this comparison is really cool, the circulatory system. A city's roads, its railways, its public transit, those are the arteries and veins. And the traffic? That's the lifeblood. When it's all flowing smoothly, the city is healthy and thriving. But when it gets congested, you get a blockage, and the whole system just suffers. Of course, every living thing needs an immune system to protect it. For a city, that's its public safety network. It's designed to spot and deal with all sorts of threats. We're talking everything from crime on the streets to cyber attacks on its digital infrastructure. It's all about keeping the city and its people healthy. All right, so this living city analogy is powerful for sure. But is it just a concept? Is it just an idea? Not at all. Let's pivot to a real-world example and see how this very idea is actually taking shape in Malaysia right now. You see, this isn't some new fad in Malaysia. It's been a long-term evolution. The journey really kicked off way back in 1995. It's matured from just building digital infrastructure to focusing on integrated transport and now to creating a national framework. It just goes to show you, becoming a smart city isn't some overnight project. It's a decades-long commitment. And this isn't just a Kuala Lumpur thing either. As you can see on this map, these individual dots are popping up all across the country. You've got Kuala Lumpur analyzing big data, Kuching building integrated platforms, Kota Kinabalu using AI. The next big challenge, of course, is connecting all these local initiatives into a single national nervous system. So, how does a city actually become smart? It's not like flipping a switch. It's a gradual process, a journey of maturity. This chart lays out the steps pretty clearly, from being a pre-smart city with basically no plan, all the way up to a visionary level 4 city, where data integration is totally automated. Most cities you'll find start out as early adopters and just work their way up from there. So we've looked at the city as a body analogy, and we've seen it in action. Now let's connect all those dots and figure out what it really truly takes to create a living city. Because the absolute crucial part is integration. This right here, this is the key. A smart city command center is that central brain we were talking about. Its entire job is to break down the walls between different city departments and systems. So instead of traffic, waste management, and energy all having their own separate siloed data, this platform brings it all together. It allows every single part of the body to finally communicate. So what does it take to make all this actually work? Well, technology is only part of the puzzle. As you can see here, success really hinges on the human factors. You need good governance to manage all this complexity, you need the funding to make it happen, But most importantly, it has to start with a clear vision that solves real problems for citizens. And you absolutely need buy-in from everyone involved, because without that, the smartest tech in the world is just a really expensive gimmick. The big takeaway here is that our cities are becoming more and more interconnected, more responsive. In a very real sense, they're coming alive. And that leaves us with one final thought. If you could connect any two systems in your own city to make it smarter, I don't know, maybe linking public transit schedules to traffic lights, what would you choose first? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.